Hi everyone, this is my review of the Boston Marathon 2023 celebration jacket. Now, the celebration jacket is one that I bought with my own money. No one's going to review this content before it is out for release, and I'm not sponsored by Adidas or anyone from the Boston Marathon in any other way. So with those disclosures out of the way, now I'm going to talk about this jacket. Now, the 2023 jacket, they've really tried to modernize this jacket, and that's because over the years, the Boston Marathon jacket is just known to be really stand out and in some ways either ugly or downright ugly. And that's just because they like to use bright colors. It's like it's something that's lifted out of the 80s every single year. And so this year they tried to do something different, which is trying to make it look more modern in terms of colors and design. There's some things about the jacket that are still the same, and that is the detailing. The Boston Marathon logo here in the front, a very, very large and loud Boston Marathon logo at the back, and the BAA 26.2 detailing in the collar. And all years, the Boston Marathon jackets have those type of details. Now, this jacket is $120 US. It's available on the US Adidas website, as well as the Heartbreak Hill Running Company and Marathon Sports websites. Marathon Sports is the only one that delivers overseas, and so therefore, if you live overseas like I do, I waited about 2.5 to 3 weeks for this jacket to arrive. Now, the other place that also sells it is at the Marathon Expo, and this is conducted about 2 or 3 days before the Boston Marathon. That's another place where you can pick up one of these jackets for likely the same price, and you can also try it on and see it in person beforehand. To be honest with you, I bought mine earlier because I think it's quite known that it might run out of sizes, particularly the smaller sizes. So I got mine in advance for that very reason. This is a size S. It's quite true to size, I'd say. Very similar to other Adidas jackets that I have. With the same sizing. I am 5'7" or 175 centimeters tall. I'm fairly slim in terms of build, and so those who are a bit wider, you might find it a bit tight around the waist. But for me, it fits pretty well. Now let's just go on to some of the positives about the jacket. First of all, it's quite lightweight. It's breathable. It's got this pocket at the back where if you're sweating at the back, it's got a different kind of material to allow the sweat to run through. Is pretty much light rain kind of proof, but not fully waterproof, and does keep out a bit of the wind. And I think that's pretty good for a running jacket, just in cooler weather, but definitely not in cold weather or in heavy rain. Now, it's also marketed to be made from recycled materials, and sustainability is a really big thing now in the running apparel. And so this is made from majority ocean plastic recycling, which I think is a really nice touch. I quite like the special detailing that they have, where in the light you can see that there are some fine dots on the top, which is supposed to represent the ocean, which I think is quite cool. This jacket is also, because it's so light and good material, it can be packed out into a very small bundle. It's got a special pocket at the back where you can do that, and so easy for you to carry it around. And a very nice detail on the inside is that you can write your name and even your marathon time on the inside as well. So I think that's quite cool. Now onto the quirks, or the things that people don't like about this jacket, and there are quite a few. I mean, the first thing is the color. Now, I don't mind the color. I really like the color, actually, to be honest. It's marketed as a violet, and people are a bit scared that maybe it's a bit too purpley or whatever. It sort of looks more like a gray, and the way that you see it on the video is pretty much how it looks in real life. I really like the highlights of the stripes and the zip in this nice yellow color. I think it stands out, but it's not too loud as compared to other years. But some people still may not be too happy with the color, and it is a very unique color. It's never been this color before. Now, there are some things about this jacket that doesn't really make it a running jacket. I mean, it doesn't really have a hood like my other Adidas jackets do. I find it a bit too light and a bit too thin, and doesn't quite suit the full purpose of a running jacket if that's what you want to use it for. One thing that a lot of people are concerned about is the lack of embroidery. Now, this is one of those years, probably one of the first years in the last 30 years of the jacket where it's not actually embroidered, but a print. And you can see here that is a print here on the front, it's a print on the back, and people are really concerned that that's just going to wear out over a period of time. The embroidered jackets are ones that have lasted for many, many years, and there are many pictures online of those from back in the 90s of jackets that still look pretty good. But there's also a lot of pictures online of print jackets, also made by Adidas, of which the decals falls off on the back and stuff. And so, you know, I mean, sort of what's the point of this jacket? You keeping it for a very long time when parts are just going to wear out. And so some people are were very concerned about that when it was released. There are other unusual quirks as well, and these quirks related to both the men's and women's styles. Now, first of all, I'm wearing the men's. The men's style has this extra detail underneath where it's got this second tone color only under the sleeves, and it's got the second tone at the back, which is the same as the women's, but the men's only has these sleeves, have the two-tone sleeves underneath. It's made from the same material though, and it's just one of those details that allows you to tell the difference between the men's and the women's. Now, the other big difference and another quite unusual thing about the men's jacket is that it's only got one small front pocket on the left side. And this is just really weird. I don't know why they don't have two pockets like they do in other jackets. And the pocket's pretty small. It can only just fit maybe a swipe card or something like that. It can't fit your whole hand in, and it's very strange. And what is really strange is that the women's jacket actually has two front zippable pockets on the front that you can actually fit your hands in. And so I don't know why they design it like that, but I think men just don't need to keep their hands warm or whatever the reason is. I mean, it's just unusual that the men's jacket only has one pocket on the side, and maybe they're trying to make it modern or stand out or whatever, but to be honest, it's pretty impractical. Now finally, who is going to buy this jacket, or is it worth you buying it? Well, first of all, if you are a qualifier or if you are running the race, I mean, there's no doubt you're going to seriously consider or you're going to buy this jacket. I mean, like some people have waited many, many years for you to have the ability to buy it and to be able to wear it and start conversations and talk about the race. So there's no doubt that if you're running or qualified the race, you are going to buy it. I mean, they can make it $200 US, they can make it bright pink, and people who are running the race are still going to buy it, okay? So, you know, that's pretty much a given. But if you are a supporter of the race, or if you're someone who just wants to buy it for fashion, then I would seriously consider whether you should buy it or not. I mean, to be honest, it's not really a good running jacket, being that I think it's a bit too thin, doesn't really keep out the rain. There are too many practical components of it for you to wear it as a running jacket. If you want to buy it just simply for fashion, doesn't have enough there for you to wear this out normally. I mean, it's a bit too thin. You have to wear layers underneath anyway. It's just impractical. You can't put both hands in if you buy the men's. Doesn't really keep you warm. I mean, like, to be honest, it's not really a good fashion jacket either. And so if you want to buy one of these jackets in the future just for fashion, I'll probably wait for another year where it's a little more practical, or just buy a previous year's version, which I think were much better quality and will actually keep you warm and might stand out a little more. So that's my review of the Boston Marathon 2023 running jacket. I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. If you want to leave comments about it, about my thoughts, if you want to leave your own thoughts below, please go ahead and do that. And as always, go Asian, go running.